Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, man charged after ditching motorbike in attempt to escape with a gun. A 27-year-old farmer is now facing gun charges for a weapon he allegedly discarded after he ditched his motorcycle and attempted to elude lawmen at a roadblock alongside the Friendship Main Road in Westmoreland last Saturday. Kenworth Johnson of Strawberry District Friendship has been charged with the possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition. Reports from the Withorn police are that about 10:30 p.m., while conducting a roadblock along the Friendship Main Road, a motorcyclist was signaled to stop. The driver initially complied, but then reportedly tried to elude the police by jumping from the motorcycle and running into a neighboring community. The police went in pursuit of the man and he was apprehended. He then reportedly took an object from his waistband and threw it to the ground. The object was retrieved and found to be a black Taurus 9mm pistol with a magazine affixed containing 5 9mm cartridges. He was arrested and subsequently charged on Thursday after a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. Kingston man accused of attempting robbery near St. Mary's Supermarket. A 27-year-old Kingston man was held on Friday by citizens and the police after he attempted a brazen robbery near the Giant Supermarket in Porta Maria, St. Mary. Reports are that around midday on Friday, the man attempted to rob a woman when citizens became alerted of his intentions and made an alarm. Between the citizens and the police that were on the ground, the man was caught. The police seized several items, including a motorcycle believed to have been stolen in the suspect's possession. One of the items recovered has since been confirmed as stolen earlier Friday morning in Linstead. The suspect is facing charges of robbery with aggravation and the possession of a prohibited weapon. He is scheduled to go on an identification parade for crimes that he allegedly committed in St. Mary and other parishes. The police are praising the citizens for their quick actions and cooperation in catching the man. The arrest underscores the effectiveness of strong police-community partnerships, said Anthony Wallace, Deputy Superintendent in charge of the parish. 13 gangs targeted under second iteration of Operation Storm. The St. James Police have listed 13 gangs which they will be prioritizing under a second iteration of the Operation Storm initiative. Dubbed Operation Storm 2, the police are looking at criminal collectives that have set up bases in several different communities in the parish, according to Operations Officer for the parish, Deputy Superintendent Linroy Edwards. The gangs that we will be giving focused attention to are the G6 gang. They operate in Salt Springs, Rose Heights areas. 641 gang, also in Salt Spring and Rose Heights, he said during a press conference which signaled the launch of the operation on Friday. Bloods gang in Flower Hill, YSF in Bird Hill, and the KDF Mount Salem, he continued. Downtown Sparta and Young Sparta Generation, Flankers Rebel gang from the Flankers community, and the Libyan gang Flankers. YAK Norwood, HDF Norwood, One Don Gang, Mount Carey, Shimoni, Maroon Town, and the Bad 13 from Springmount, Deputy Superintendent Edwards said as he listed the gangs. Edwards said it is the intention of the security forces to dismantle and disarm these gangs, however long it takes. We want to inform the citizens of this parish that they will see heightened police and military presence in all communities, townships, and major thoroughfares across the parish, he explained. However, law-abiding citizens need not to be worried, as the focus will be on the gangs, as we intend to remove them permanently from the communities in which they are hiding and or operating in, he sought to reassure. Edwards is therefore asking individuals with information to reach out to the police and share whatever information they may have in this regard. We are encouraging the citizens to help us to identify the persons who are affiliated with these gangs and where they are residing. We want to know where they party, socialize, and hang out, the vehicles that they drive, and most importantly, where the guns are hidden, he appealed. For those associated with the gangs and other criminal activities, he is urging them to turn themselves into the police. We are warning the gangs not to challenge or resist the police when we come, as we have a lawful responsibility first to defend and to protect ourselves and the decent law-abiding citizens of this parish, the Deputy Superintendent declared. We are appealing to all gang members and their supporters from the respective gangs to do the right thing and surrender yourselves and guns in your possession to us and to prevent us from coming for you, because we will be using every lawful tool that we have at our disposal to arrest and prosecute you, to ensure that the decent law-abiding citizens can live, work, do business, raise their families, and also visit in peace this beautiful parish of St. James, he added. Several of the St. James's most wanted individuals and also persons of interest were also highlighted during the event, which included Tevin Lawson, otherwise called the Brookhand, who is wanted for murders and shootings. Police investigating murder of St. Mary construction worker. A 45-year-old construction worker and a farmer of a Highgate address was shot and killed in Storetown, St. Mary last night. Dead is Keon Jones of Woodside, Highgate. Reports are that around 7:30 p.m., Jones was driving a red Mitsubishi Pajero motor vehicle when he stopped at the entrance of the Reunited Resort. It is unclear what took place. However, Jones was found slumped over the steering wheel with several gunshot wounds. The right side of the vehicle's window had several bullet holes. The St. Mary police have not yet established a motive for the murder as the investigation continues. Jones's death has brought the parish's murder tally since the beginning of the year to 10. 48-hour curfew imposed in sections of St. Mary. A 48-hour curfew has been imposed in sections of Freehill, Crooked River, Marstontown, and Tank Lane in St. Mary. The curfew began at 6 p.m. on Friday, May 2, and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. on Sunday, May 4. The areas affected in Freehill, Porta Maria are north along a section of Freehill to a section of Trinity Land, east along Trinity Land to a section of the Cox Street Main Road, south along the Cox Street Main Road to a section of Roslyn Road, west along Roslyn Road to a section of Freehill. The areas affected in Crooked River and Notta Bay are east along the Polwell Texaco gas station, extending to the entrance to the Markingstone Beach, south from the entrance to the Markingstone Beach, continuing to a section of the Gibraltar housing scheme, north from following a path through a section of Ross Drive in the Gibraltar housing scheme to the Polwell Texaco gas station, thereby closing the perimeter. The areas affected in Marstontown, Aracabessa, east along the Air Hill Main Road from the vicinity of the Heaven Gate Gospel Chapel to the entrance of Marstontown, north along an imaginary line from the Marstontown entrance to a section of the community, west along an imaginary line from Marstontown to Coleraine Roadway near the Aracabessa High School, south along an imaginary line from Coleraine Roadway to the Heaven Gate Gospel Chapel. The areas affected in Tank Lane, Aracabessa, east along Connor Pond Roadway from the Aracabessa Main Road intersection to the entrance of Faith Lane, south along an imaginary line from Faith Lane to a section of the Tank Lane community, west along an imaginary line from Tank Lane to the Aracabessa Bus Park, north along an imaginary line from the Aracabessa Bus Park to the intersection of Aracabessa Main Road. During the hours of the curfew, all persons within its boundaries are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized by the ground commander. Fugitive wanted for murder in 2024 held during raid in St. James. A 22-year-old man who has been accused of murder and on the run for several months was arrested during a raid in St. James on Friday. Police identified the suspect as Akeem Fraser, otherwise called the Blacks, of Ricketts Street and Springmount, Westmoreland. He has been charged with murder and using a firearm to commit a felony following an incident on Ricketts Street, Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland on Friday, March 22, 2024. The man killed in the reported incident has been identified as a 34-year-old Mark Watson of Ricketts Street, Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland. Reports from the Savannah Lamar police are that at about 8:20 p.m., Watson was walking along the roadway when he was pounced upon by Fraser, who brandished a firearm and opened the gunfire at him before escaping in the area on foot. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, Watson was seen with multiple gunshot wounds. He was assisted to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. An investigation was launched, and Fraser was subsequently arrested during a targeted raid on Friday, May 2, 2025 in St. James, and was charged following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. His court date is being finalized. Boy found wandering in St. Andrew, cops seek help to find his parents. The Halfway Tree police are seeking the public's assistance to reunite this boy with his family. He was found wandering on a Jamaica Urban Transit Company Limited bus number 23 in the parish on Friday, May 2. He gave his name as Michael Lonely and stated that he is from Fletcher's Land, downtown Kingston. Anyone with information that can assist the police in reuniting this boy with his family is asked to contact the Halfway Tree Police at 876-926-8184, the 119 police emergency number, or the nearest police station. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.